guys, welcome to Racing with Dio. This is Dirt Track Danny, and we're hanging out here. How about our new deal, huh? You guys said you like it. We're going to keep it because we like it too. Most of all, thank you for coming out to the races, to the Racing with Dio Gotta Race Series races at Bloomington, at Putnamville, and at Kokomo for the USAC race. Fireworks in the sky, fireworks on the track, Danny.
Every track, every race, every lap, awesome racing, all 3 nights. Deal, we've got a heck of a show.
That's right, so let's not try to screw up this thing anymore. Let's bring you the racing highlights right now from Bloomington.
Hey, welcome to Racing with Dio. This is the start of the weekend series. Race fans, it's hot. The fat boy's sweating, but we're racing in Bloomington. It's 92 degrees. The racetrack behind us is beautiful. The crowd's coming out. And boys, it's woo racing.
A hot summer Friday night at Bloomington Speedway was so hot, everybody was in the shade waiting for the fireworks to pop.
And they had the big ones at Bloomington, and this is the biggest firecracker of all.
We'd just like to wish a special get well soon to my girlfriend Brandy McIntyre. Woo! Racing!
And the fireworks began on the track early with young Billy Peterball Jr. turning 11-7 for fast time of the night.
I don't think he lifts on this lap, Deal. This boy's on the gas. Here's another one, DW, another fine lap, scooting around that racetrack.
DW keeping her on the fat part, but John Wolf didn't. Those were the bank installed, but it's the professor, Kevin Thomas, trying to give young Peterball a run for fast time money.
Next up, the 2/8's Brian Hayden, doing a nice, smooth job like he always does, Dio.
Getting that old chunk of iron around there in a fast time. He's going to have a lot of work cut out for him tonight.
Kevin Briscoe, the teacher down there at Bloomington, slinging it into the corner, scooting and shooting around that racetrack trying to get fast time. Next up, Eric Burns with the American flag on there, hikes that left front wheel, nice, smooth, off the corner, Dio.
So what's your purpose for putting together this series, Dio?
Well, it's just for everybody to mingle and mix and have fun, and you know, it's all about going racing and having fun. The fans are talking with the drivers. They'll come back next time. Little kids will be impressed. They're going to go home with a new hero, and they'll get fans like this. Over here, Jamie. Go racing! Yeah! And besides the race fans, we had Kevin Briscoe, professor up there, sign for all the kids. Kevin Thomas, Billy Peterball, Brad Marvel, Corey Smith, and all the race drivers and fans, and we thank you all. We're going to do this good again at Terre Haute on July 12th and down at Indiana Sprint Week. Hey, look at there. Even I went for Dill Whittymore's autograph.
Heat race action. Chris Beaver sliding in there, getting up, pushing and shoving, but the guy that comes off the corner leading is Dave Peprack. Beaver back down into the corner, gets her a little sideways, slides down in front of Brad Marvel. Marvel T-bones him, and it puts them both out.
That Beaver does that in them go-karts, too, out there in Avon. Here we go. Butch Winings gets a little help from the Beaver man, takes a visit in the infield photographers, and starts the race from the tail. Well, the full moon's up, DW, and it's time to go racing. It's the opening green flag for the Bloomington Gotta Race, number 2. Brad Marvel's got the lead. Danny Williams down the backstretch with Brian Hayden. Danny?
Junior gets sideways, gets tagged by Kevin Thomas. He was loose there, now he's tight because Doc got him in the rear end.
Couple cars didn't restart, but here we come down. It's Marvel on the pole, Thomas on the outside, Hayden and Peterball. On the huggy pole is Marvel. On the top is the Professor Kevin Thomas. They go into 3 and 4. Marvel's got the bottom. Hayden gets loose, backs up a little bit, and Briscoe slides by on them Hoosier tires. Double D, Derek Davison's down the bottom. He's giving Hayden a shot. Peterball scraping at the top. What a race, Danny. This is racing all over.
A lot of racing wherever you look on a racetrack. Going immediately to the top now is Briscoe. He lifts that left front, powers off the corner. The rest of the pack is just out there shooting and scooting. Kent Christian's trying to get underneath it. Derek Davison can't get it done. Brad Marvel's our leader, with Kevin Thomas following him. Look out, boys. The number 5 car's going to the top, and he's going after those guys.
Thomas slides by Marvel on the bottom on the huggy pole. Briscoe on the top, gets around Marvel also. Set sail for KT, the other professor. It's 2 professors doing battle.
versus Captain Marvel and Brian Hayden. And it looks like Professor Thomas has got the huggy pole mastered. And Briscoe is zipping around the top, Danny. He's hauling the mail. He comes down to the bottom. It don't work. He goes back up to the top. And Thomas is rolling away. It looks like it's going to be another take it to the bank. Kevin Thomas Knight. Briscoe hooks the cushion, tips it up there, runs it down into 3, snags the tire, almost goes over. Briscoe's having trouble keeping her on the ground and a halt to the racetrack.
Well, he goes up to the top and he bangs a cushion, but look how boys John Wolf and Brad Fox are sliding out of the racetrack. Kevin Thomas on a restart gets a nice jump, banging into the cushion again is Kevin Briscoe. He drives off the corner, chasing them boys.
Brian Hayden's back there riding in fourth, but up to the point. Yes, Kevin Thomas. Watch that right rear McCrary work. He leans on and he gasses good. But Danny, the race is back for second and third. Marvel on the bottom. Briscoe snags the cushion again. This boy's trying to turn it over for the win, but he can't get out of third. Down on the bottom, Thomas goes around the lap car of Steve, Christian. A couple more guys back here. They're still hammer and tong. Marvel and Briscoe.
Briscoe trying to get a good run off the corner, and he does. He powers by Brad Marvel on the high side. Marvel's tightening that car up a little bit at the bottom, but he powers by Briscoe. They're side by side. Who's going to get second spot? Because Kevin Thomas has checked out.
Thomas, runner down on the bottom. He took the lead on the top, and he's down on the bottom and protected. He comes down the line. And your winners, Kevin Thomas in the race for second. It is Brad Marvel. Your top 5 is Thomas, Marvel, Briscoe, Kent Christian in fine drive, and Brian Hayden. Out of this, the points are tied for the Race with the Gotta Race Series between the winner, Kevin Thomas, and Brad Marvel. Hey, how about that action from Bloomington? Fireworks in the sky, fireworks on the track, fireworks from your boy.
Well, that's right, Dio. Start on the front row, wanted to lead that first lap, carried it down into 3, was real loose, but everything tightened up when he got blasted from behind.
That's right. Well, we're going with the Race with Dio points. Brad Marvel, Kevin Thomas, they're tied. Winner of the Race with Dio Hoosier Performer of the Race, which goes to the last car on the lead lap, went to Kenny Carmichael. He is still on the lead lap. He gets a Hoosier tire, courtesy of Hoosier Tire and Racing with Dio. We got more coming up, as you can see, and we'll be right back after this. Looking for the latest in competitive race gear? Gotta race. Gotta race sweats. Gotta race embroidery. Gotta race hats. Shorts? Gotta race. Arizona Sports Shirts is the place to go for your gotta race wear. 100 Gasoline Alley, 244-3905. Gotta race. Simpson, every race, every lap, every track. Driving shoes, sports shoes, seat belts, shoulder belts, army strengths, driving suits, driving gloves. Simpson, #1 in auto racing. 1-800-654-RACE. Call. Get your free catalog. Register to win a set of ground effect shoes on Race with Dio. Simpson.
Get in a little trouble with the man. Who you gonna call? State Bell Bonding, 24-hour service, 236-6560. There ain't no glamour to being in the slammer.
Hey, race fans, if you want that winning deal like Brad Marvel wins on the racetrack, come see Brad at Palmer Dodge, 4343 West 38th Street, or give him a call, 293-6220. Ask for Brad. Everything Racing, 6331 Crawfordsville Road, the place to go for all the Brickyard collectibles. Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, plates, lighters, jackets, T-shirts, they've got them all. From leather to twill, they've got Jeff Gordon, Kenny Schrader, Terry Labonte, all the crew shirts that you would want. Everything Racing for your stereo headphones to listen to the race. 484-2500.
On our last Hoosier Millionaire, Shelley Norman of Indianapolis went to our Millionaire round and won $124,000.
And joining us this week will be Donald Slocum of Louisville, Kentucky, David Watts of Goshen, Clara Vitello of Logansport, Louis Eastmiller of Jasper, Joe Garcia of Plymouth, and Bud Pennington of Edinburgh.
Tune in Saturday for our Hoosier Lotto drawing and your chance to become our next Hoosier millionaire.
Tonight at 7:30 on Indy TV.
Hey race fans, welcome back to Racing with Dio. Of course, I'm Dio's Dirt Track Danny. We're going to Dirt Track Danny's home track where he's a track announcer at Lincoln Park Speedway for the second race of our 3-race series here on the weekend.
Well, Mike and B. Ferrara's Lincoln Park Speedway had a tremendous crowd. They all went there to look at the race cars. The Gotta Race trailer was there. They got some apparel. The racing was great. Fireworks in the sky. Let's see what happened. The Racing with Dio Gotta Race Lincoln Park Speedway Mid-Season Championship brought all the race fans out. Dio, look at that crowd.
They come from everywhere and they come to see the king of Kokomo, Tony Elliott, bicycle down 3 in qualifying. But the young gun, Billy Peterball, drives around, takes her in the 3 on the bottom, up the top, catches the cushion. Big drive off the corner, and he's fast again. But then there's old Doc Black. Doc went to Dirt Track Workshop School, decided he wanted to drive sprint cars. So what'd he do? He bought him a fleet. One for him, one for his son, and one for Brad Marble. And he's on the gas. He takes her down to 3. He sets her up. She comes around and hooks the cushion and puts him on his noodle.
Well, he got his noodle back together and ran later in the night. Dave Garland, the Family 36D competition welding, beat Peachy's engine really on the gas in qualifying deal. He's nice and smooth. Gets it a little bit up on the left side of the race car off the ground. Comes down, qualified well. Heat race action. Double D, Derek Davidson, really running hard, but look out. John Stanbro finds the wall, breaks the front end, and tips it over.
Stanbro gets fixed. Come back and run in this semi. Down on the start of the semi, down to turn 1. Bart Pletch tries to get sideways. Troy Link gets into Joe Roush and stands him on his nose. And Chris Beaver runs over Jim Whiteside. But the fans are still cheering him on, Danny. They're ready for the feature.
Feature action, Lincoln Park Speedway. Jeff Augie O'Banion leads the pack down. He goes to the bottom. Kevin Thomas goes to the top. They're racing, Dio.
Down in the first turn, Thomas around top, but back in the pack, they're scrambling. Kent Christian, Derek Davison, Nick Adams, Billy Peterball, but up the front. It's O'Banion and Thomas, but Nick Adams turns around. Everybody misses him, and we're going to have a restart, Danny. And Kevin Thomas is starting in front.
On the restart, Augie goes to the bottom. Kevin Thomas at the top. Dave Garland at the top. Thomas grabs the lead, slinging some dirt. Augie gets her going real good, and the rest of the pack trying to catch him.
You know, this racetrack's got 2 grooves. It's got the huggy pole and it's got the cushion. And the professor of the huggy pole is riding the cushion. He's got a good lead over Dave Garland, but the race is between O'Banion and Elliott. Back to the pack for 3rd and 4th. O'Banion, usually the cush rider, is down on the huggy pole. And Thomas of huggy pole is up on the top. I'm confused.
Look out, boys. They're bumping and banging as Kent Christian almost loses it. But up in the front, Kevin Thomas continues to slide up there, bangs off the cushion. He's leading. Augie's trying to catch him.
Hayden slides up in front of Peterball, gets a spot, but Peterball dives back underneath. Hayden goes to the bottom, takes a shot at Peterball. Peterball's got the momentum. Can't do anything. Double D hits a rut back there, gets in trouble. Back down to the bottom goes Hayden. Peterball around the top, keeping that momentum up, but Hayden pulled ahead. Thomas working on Butch Winings on lap traffic. KT's had problems with traffic lately. What's going to happen, Danny? It's going to get blocked. Give it up again. Kokomo, he lost in the last 10 feet.
Kevin Thomas goes to the basement to get around Butch Winings. Slides up, they bang wheels. That slows Kevin down. He loses momentum, and look out. Here comes the 2 yellow cars. Dave Garland, Augie O'Banion. Kevin is getting a big charge by Dave Garland. Garland goes to the bottom, Kevin at the top, and sneaking down at the bottom, way down the bottom is Augie. Dave Garland's moving up into the #1 position. Kevin says, I want it back. He goes up the top looking for that moisture, but we got a 3-car race deal.
Yeah, we do. It's KT on the top, Augie on the bottom. He's scraping around. He's gotten around Garland. He's set his sights on Kevin Thomas. He's on the bottom of the left front wheels locked up. He's back on the gas. He gets a good drive coming off. We got a few laps left to go, and it's a 3-car shootout. And Danny, there's lap cars coming up ahead. Augie on the bottom, KT on the top. Dave Garland sniffing back there in third, waiting for them to screw up to snatch away the lead.
Dave Darling goes in the middle of the racetrack, trying to make it 3 wide. Augie gets a real good drive off the corner, lifts that left front. Kevin Thomas running the top, holds on to the lead. Dave Darling trying to run the middle. Augie on the bottom. Lap traffic's going to play in here on the last lap. Deal, I don't know.
It's the white flag. Augie goes to the bottom. He runs up on Nick Adams. Charlie Workman's up the top. KT's at the top. He comes down, cuts in. Can't chop Augie off. Augie's on the bottom. Nobody's holding up traffic, and the win goes to Augie O'Banion. Win number 2. Woo, Augie! Whoa, Racin! Augie was followed by Kevin Thomas, Dave Darling, Tony Elliott, Kurt the Rooster Hawkins. Had a little champagne there, and Augie made sure he spread around with his car owner, John Davis, and his brother. And here's a look at Gotta Race Point after race number 3. Race fans, how about that Augie O'Banion? He won the race, he put it on the professor, and he put it on Dave Darling. Both them guys, the master of either the huggy pole or the cushion. Either one of them guys can run it. Augie just got his first win in May out at Lincoln Park Speedway. You were there and got to see it. I missed it, couldn't bring it to the fans, but we brought this one home. There was some excitement in Victory Lane.
Oh, it was a great scene to see. Augie got the champagne out, sprayed his car owner, John Davis, got in his eyes, but John says that was a great race, and I agree with it. I was pumped up. Augie was not going to be denied.
That's right. Kevin Thomas, his second place, gives him a big lead going into the next race, which is Evans Kokomo Speedway, the USAC Sprints. Big lead in the points, so we got more of that coming up right after this. Hoosier Tire Midwest, where the champions come to get their tires. 9241 Crawfordsville Road. Hoosier Tire has all your racing needs. Tires, t-shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, junior drag tires, they've got it. Hoosier Tire, the home of champions. Hoosier Tire Midwest, soon to move out to Hunter Road and 136. Give them a call, Hoosier Tire Midwest. Hey racers, if you're out cruising through Danville, you stop by Danville's Kiger Sunoco. They're open 23.5 hours. Towing with the Boogeyman. Give them a call at 745-6290. You never know who's going to drive up at Danville Sunoco. Kiger comes out, does the full service thing. You can get the DO deal, $5 off any full service at Kiger's Danville Sunoco. Don't be late. Simpson, every race, every lap, every track. Driving shoes, sports shoes, seat belts, shoulder belts, arm restraints, driving suits, driving gloves. Simpson, #1 in auto racing. 1-800-654-RACE. Call. Get your free catalog. Register to win a set of ground effect shoes on Racing with D.O. Simpson.
Get in a little trouble with the man. Who you gonna call? State Bell Bonding, 24-hour service, 236-6560. There ain't no glamour to being in the slammer.
As a racing fan, you may be familiar with our work. We're Kiko Motorsports, the racing division of Kiko Engineered Coatings, and we create durable, permanent lubricity coatings that provide thermal barriers to protect against excessive heat, corrosion, friction, and oxidation. We provide coatings to last longer, cost less, and enhance your overall performance. Our coatings are used by the top racing teams in the world in nearly every form of racing. Call today for our free corporate video to see what Kiko can do for you.
Hey race fans, welcome back to Racing with D.O. Needless to say, I'm D.O.'s Dirt Track Danny. Next up, the third race of this past weekend's Racing with D.O. Gotta Race Series. Went to Evans Kokomo Speedway. It was a USAC race, the Hayes Apperson Classic, Danny.
Well, there were 45 sprint cars. There were heroes and hot dogs from all over the country. but most of the heroes and hot dogs you see on Racing with Dio every Saturday was there, and they put on a good show. Let's see what happened.
Kokomo Speedway, hot laps. Derek Davidson, but this is something you'll rarely see in hot laps. Kevin Thomas running over Doug Coletta, chugs away and gives him a wave.
Kurt the Rooster Hawkins lifts that front end off the ground, but he keeps on running. Tim Cox really running it hard in hot laps, gets around another guy, but look out, boys. Brian Tyler gets upside down, does a heavy damage to the race car. He's out for the night.
And it's the USAC race, and this is your USAC points leader. They're putting it on the hook, because after the hook is the trailer. Tyler not going to get no points tonight. Chris Beaver slides her in. Gets over the cushion, two wheels it, misses the wall, and it's another escape for the Beavers.
Greg Stevens in a 7 car. Gets her into the, oh man, almost into the fence head on. There's DW. He comes off the corner on his last lap, lifts up the front end. Look out, folks. How'd he do that?
I don't know, but I thought we're going to have to wake him up to yell at him. Here we are, heat race action. Brian Gerster in Arlen Offsinger's 11, replaced Jerry Hepworth, and roots his way around veteran Rusty McClure in his heat race. And we're back in another heat race here. We're running. Kevin Thomas bumps the wall with a little help from Joe Rout. Thomas, Elliott in the yellow 28 looking good. But up the front, who's bringing the meat home? It's Gerster in the 11 car, being chased by Dave Darlin, the stray bullet, Mark Casella, and the rest of the boys. Gerster is looking good in this ride, sponsored by Jerseys, and everybody else holding off Darlin. It's a good replacement for Arlen, for Hepworth, and we're glad to see Gerster with a ride.
More heat race action as Brad Marvel goes down into the corner. He gets her up in the air. Below him, Chris Beaver powers off the corner, grabs that position. There's a big battle between Bill Rose, Tony Blue, Billy Pewterball. Pewterball powers off the corner, gets a little bit away from him. Blue drives down underneath of Billy Rose, almost gets him, slides back underneath of him, and cuts him off down in front straightaway. A little rootin' and tootin' action there. Kokomo feature action, race number 3 of round 2. Got a race weekend, USAC sprint cars at Kokomo.
And it's a big woo racing from the crowd. Thank you, crowd. We appreciate that. On the front row, Chris Beaver, Tony Elliott, Derek Davidson, Aaron Mosley, Brad Marvel, Kevin Thomas, the Stray Bullet, and Christian. And they're coming around for the green flag. Beaver's only got 360. He bogs it, drives away. It's a race to the first turn. Elliott goes to the top, Beaver to the bottom. Davidson on the bottom, Marvel and Mosley almost get tangled up. Beaver's got the lead. Elliott drives down across, slides up the top, and Beaver uses his 360 to pull out to lead lap 1 of the USAC race at Kokomo Speedway.
Elliott tries the bottom momentarily. Derek Davidson lifts that left front, right front, the whole front, and gets second position. Our leader continues to be Beaver, but Kevin Thomas is making a charge at the top. Elliott at the bottom. Derek Davidson, Brad Marvel, and the rest of the pack.
That's Dave Darlin in the Hoffman 69. He's running back to pack, and that's normal for him. There goes Thomas, Marvel, making an Elliott sandwich. They get tangled up. Thomas comes out ahead. He's on the top, trying to drive around, pull away. Elliott gets back by. Thomas goes down in turn 1, takes it into the top. Something breaks. The hands up, Danny. Kevin Thomas, the points leader's in trouble. The Gotta Race Series points leader, Kevin Thomas, has broke, and he's history for the night. But it's restart time, Danny.
On the restart, Chris Beaver continues to lead. Tony Elliott now has gone to the top. He was running down to the bottom. Elliott's working that top. He's a meister at the top. He gets a drive off the corner. They're side by side. Who's going to get the lead? Again, they're off the number 2 corner. Elliott's really working that top. He is going to get the lead, but Beaver gets a little push from Derek Davidson. Brad Marvel gets hooked up in a few other race cars, and we're going to have a restart, Dio.
On the restart, Elliott draws Beaver's 360 down the straightaway. Mark Casella, the Stray Bullet, has bounced into 4th place in Stapp's car. He's running hard, but Beaver, Christian, Mosley and the rest of the boys. Beaver's got the lead back. He's caught Elliott, passed him, and he's pulling away. Elliott is backing up. Mosley, a fine ride for him.
Elliott's real patient at the high side, even though it's like a roller coaster at times, trying to get around Mosley. Chris Beaver continues to lead in that 360. Kit Christian trying to get around Mosley, being real patient. Could root him out there, but he's not doing it. Mosley gets a big leap, but look out, boys. John Stanbro got into trouble on the front straightaway.
That's his second flip of the weekend. On the restart, it's Beaver on the bottom, followed by Christian. Elliott goes to the top. Mosley's riding in fourth. Christian looks underneath. Kent Christian has been looking strong the last couple of weeks. He's knocking on the Beaver's door, and Beaver holds his spot. Elliott goes to the top, pulls the wheels up. He's moved into second around Christian. He's given Beaver a shot down in one. Beaver pulls it out on the bottom, but Elliott jams it around the top and pulls into the lead.
Immediately, Elliott goes down to the bottom, shuts the door on Beaver, grabs the lead as the rest of the pack follows in there. Kirster gets sideways, takes out Peterball and Greg Stevens, gets down into the infield, throws some dust up, gets her back on the racetrack.
Coming down, it's a restart. It's Elliott, Beaver, Christian, Mosley, Hayden, and Dave Darlin trying to do something back in the pack. It's a bad night at Kokomo when Darlin runs this deep back. Darlin usually is the man that goes to the front, and it don't make no difference whether it's on the bottom or on the top, because Darlin knows this Kokomo track like the back of his hand. And right now, Darlin is chasing Tony Jarrett, and there's Corey Smith in the 66. He gets upside down and gets up on top. Greg, the Gopher Stevens.
Well, they've been banging and pushing around for a couple laps, and this is what happens sometimes here at Kokomo. There's not a lot of room, and the race cars get upside down. It looks like everybody's okay.
It's a white flag, 1 lap to go. Elliott has got a big lead. Beaver second, Kent Christian, Aaron Mosley, Brian Hayden. Going down to 3, Christian looks at the back door of the Beaver, but it's all Tony Elliott, win number 5 in USAC, his 42nd career win at Kokomo. He was followed by Chris Beaver with a fine drive, Kent Christian, Aaron Mosley, and Brian Hayden. Series points after 4 races are Hayden, Thomas Marvel, Darlin, and Christian. Race fans, we got a new Racing with Dio deal. You know we got the radio show from McGilvery's. Me and Dirt Track Danny is there. Monday nights from 7:30 to 8, 101.9 WQFE. But here's the deal. We're going racing after we do the radio show. 8:30, Avon Recreational Park. Either come to the radio show and follow us out from there, or meet us out there. But from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, Racing with Dio's coming out. We're bringing everybody from the radio show and a bunch of drivers, and we want a piece of you. We want to race with you. We want to put you in the wall. Avon Recreation Park, 8:30 on Monday nights. Don't forget to come there, and don't forget to listen to the radio show from 7:30 to 8 on 101.9. Looking for the latest in competitive race gear? Gotta race. Gotta race sweats. Gotta race embroidery. Gotta race hats. Shorts, gotta race. Arizona Sports Shirts is the place to go for your gotta race wear. 100 Gasoline Alley, 244-3905. Gotta race. Race fans, how about that action up at Kokomo? Come home. Tony Elliott wins his 5th USAC win, his 42nd win at Kokomo. Points jumble up. Brian Hayden's leading the Racing Deal Gotta Race points. Next race, Dirt Track Danny, the July round, starts off on Friday, July 12th, Terre Haute, Indiana, the Hurdabees Classic. And then we go the end weekend in July for Indiana Sprint Week. We're going to have autograph stations at all of them. The Gotta Race trailer is going to be there, and we're going to have a bunch more stuff.
And the big deal with that Indiana Sprint Weeks, it's USAC sanctioned this time, so it should be really awesome. 60,000 plus in prize money. Should bring in all the hot dogs from all over the country like we saw at Kokomo.
That's right. But remember, when you go to the races and they push them things off right after the national anthem, Danny, what do you do? Woo! Racing!